Hello, everyone. This is the Crimson Cure, welcoming you to the Crimson Tower, a place where we keep a feminine foot on the neck of the gynocracy, feminism, and black male misandry. So go ahead, pull up a chair, stay a while, and listen. Hey, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. We're going to go ahead and get right on into the topic, but first, a word from our sponsor.
This is A-Game, fast-acting, long-lasting, with no side effects.
Hello, you guys, and welcome back. This is going to be lesson number 4 in our 5 Traits of a Valuable Woman series. And as you can see at the bottom of the screen, sexual market value. I think I did that right. Anyway. So this is the one that most people are really concerned with. Because this involves relationships with men, romantic ones, how they see you. And your sexual market value is heavily affected by the other previous ones that I talked about. However, before I put the cart before the horse, we're going to talk about what this is. Now, from the outset, it should seem pretty self-explanatory. Maybe it is in certain cases, but we're going to actually really talk about this. What is your sexual market value? Your sexual market value consists of 2 things. One, it consists of how you see yourself as a sexual being as a woman. Okay? As a woman, how do you see yourself as a sexual thing, as a sexual being? Now, how you see yourself as a sexual being is almost directly connected to how you see yourself personally overall, and that is your personal market value. Now, many times we see women who are sort of loose. They will get in and out of sexual situations, whether they're relationships or just one-night stands or just these entanglements, wink, wink. And we'll watch these women kind of get in and out of them, usually starting when they're kind of young. And when you're young is when your sexual market value is really at its peak. And the reason why it's at its peak when you're young isn't because of any experience you may or may not have, but simply because women are young and beautiful when they're young. It's not the same at 16 than 36. Not the same. And you may have kept yourself up. You might be beautiful at 36, but the beautiful 36-year-old is not a beautiful 16-year-old. A beautiful 19-year-old is very different from a beautiful 39-year-old. Because women are valued primarily when we talk about relationships and in relation to men and what men like out of women and what they want out of women, we are valued for youth and beauty. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean that if we get into a serious relationship that a man isn't going to value the other parts of us as well, which is why we work on them. However, they do value our youth and our beauty. Women are judged on how we look. Whole industries, the adult work industry is pretty much predicated on how women look, how we appear, how sexual we are, how much can we arouse the opposite sex, okay? But we're going to back it up a little bit because I said it consisted of 2 things. The first thing it consists of is how we see ourselves as a sexual being. And the second thing that sexual market value consists of is how men see us as a sexual being. Okay. So let's tackle how you see yourself. Many times when a woman's personal market value is low, She has low self-esteem in some way, or a low sense of self-worth. Many, many times that will play out in her sexual behavior. She'll be a loose kind of woman. She'll be a woman that she'll be the one in and out of entanglements all the time. Like all the time. She really can't keep a stable relationship. And it almost seems as if she doesn't want one of those. Here's the thing with that. Women that have low personal market value have a tendency to be seeking validation externally and through sex. Okay? Because your personal market value is also tied into how well you validate yourself. Because it's what you think of yourself, right? And a woman who's able to validate her own being herself has less likelihood, less of a tendency to seek this kind of validation through sexual misbehaving. Okay? So, in short, women with low personal market value have a tendency to play out some of these dysfunctions and discrepancies sexually. They are looking for the men to validate their being and the sex to validate who they are. And this is why it's so repeated. This is why they'll keep going in and out of these situations with men that they don't hold on to and that don't hold on to them. Okay? Because they're seeking the validation that they should have been able to give themselves. And for whatever reason, they are not. Maybe their family situation wasn't so good. So their belonging market value is off. So they're trying to belong, at least sexually, to the men that they deal with, right? Women with higher personal market value have a tendency not to seek this type of validation externally. Now, everyone seeks external validation, but there is a good way to go about that and then a not so good way to go about that. And sexually misbehaving is really not a good way. It's really a negative way, because women take on male energy, even if our encounters with them are brief. But it's intensified if we find ourselves in bed with them. Then we absorb their energy, whatever it is, and we carry that with us. Okay? Whether we maintain a relationship with this man or not is irrelevant to this fact. Here's what I want young women to take away from this. Your personal market value is of extreme importance. Your ability to self-validate, your ability to have self-respect, your ability to have a high sense of self-worth and self-esteem is critical to your sexual market value later. It is of the utmost importance not to spread yourself around to various men without any relationship or without any accompanying thing that helps to make those interactions healthy. We are vessels, and we hold whatever is placed inside of us. Very difficult to get rid of that, whatever it is, whether it's good or bad. And I know we live in a world that says you can do that without any consequence, but I'm here to tell you that you can't. There is a consequence to everything. For every action, there is a reaction. And for everything we do, there is a consequence, whether that consequence is positive or negative. And sexually misbehaving, spreading ourselves to other men. Because you think about it, you can't take those acts back. There's no refund on that. There's no refund, no return, no money back guarantee. Once those acts are done, they're done. Whether you regret them later, whether you kind of didn't really want to do it, or whether you were revving, chomping at the bit to do it, it doesn't matter. Once it's done, can't be undone. Can never be undone. And for those who doubt the negative consequences, I know you have other women in your family, friend circle, whatever, older women. If you're a teenager listening to this, 16, 17, 18, and you've got aunts my age, I'm 42, and older, and they're single, were never married, watch them. They're not happy. They're not happy. They may pretend to be happy. If they've got money, they'll hide behind that. But if they don't have husbands, stable relationships with men, even if they have children, they're not happy with that. Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they are doing. Many of them are miserable. And you don't want to be her. You may love her, but you may not want to be her. And the best way to avoid that is to preserve yourself. When we give these parts of us away, we can't get them back. And it really is a takeaway from us. You have to value your sexual market value before anyone else does. Because young men, young boys, they're going to want what they want. But you're not obligated to give, especially in situations where that's all. I just want you to come back over here behind this, whatever, to do this. You don't have to do that. Okay. Also, I said sexual market value consisted of two things. So we covered the one, how you see yourself. Number two is how men judge you. Remember in friendship market value when we talked about being friends with the known thought? Yeah, you don't want to be the known thought. Regardless of what anybody tells you, I don't care what social media tells you. I don't care what Love and Hip Hop tells you. I don't care what Facebook friends tell you. I don't even care what other boys tell you or men. I don't care. Men do not respect women who have low sexual market value. And when I say low sexual market value, they don't respect the thoughts. Yeah, the song WAP is really popular and all of these, the city girl. Yeah, the men will take it, but they won't like you. They'll take what you're offering because they like that. So if you offer it, they will avail themselves of it. Okay, and they'll be cheesing from ear to ear while it's happening. But afterwards, you won't get respect. You might get called back depending on how well they like that session, but you won't be liked and you certainly won't be respected. Okay? No matter what a man tells you, men in general, they don't respect who they consider to be thoughts and whores. They don't respect them. They'll deal with them to get what they get out of them, but they don't respect them. They don't respect them. Your average man doesn't really make a wife out of those women, even if he deals with them. Okay. Sexual market value is also something that you can lead with or not lead with, depending on what you want as a woman. Do you want marriage? Are you looking for committed relationships? Don't lead with your sex. Don't lead with that. Lead with all those other beautiful qualities that you developed, your personal market value. Demonstrate your belonging market value, your friendship market value. Lead with those things. Let them see how beautiful a person you are inside, how you can be of benefit to him other than the bedroom. And then the men who want you for those things will gravitate towards you. But if you lead with your sex, you'll attract the guys that are looking for sex. And trying to get a relationship out of that is like trying to find a bottle cap in the ocean. Like, it's not happening. Even if they say, if we have sex, then we can have a relationship. Don't believe that. Don't you believe it? Don't believe that. Don't believe that. That's not how that works. Men know when they want relationships with you. And they know when they don't. Okay? So I hope that I said something that can resonate with you, something that you can take with you. I don't want to belabor all the points, but just to sort of wrap this up, sexual market value is important. It's connected to your personal market value, how you see yourself. Women with low self-esteem typically have a lot of encounters with men. A lot of encounters with them. Back to back. They don't give themselves time to rest. They're looking for validation from those experiences. If you find yourself young and in a situation where you're kind of doing that, you might need to seek a little therapy. And don't be scared of therapy. Therapy doesn't mean you're crazy. It really means you care about yourself. And you're trying to heal whatever it is that's broken and move forward. Okay? All right. So I fully expect you to check the next video, which is going to be our wrap up and final lesson, marriage market value. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you on the next one.